Good afternoon, everybody. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chair of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 Response, honorable ministers and members of the PTF, the National Coordinator, Permanent Secretaries, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, the Federal Ministry of Health has recorded a total of 56,604 COVID-19 positive cases out of a total of 482,321 samples tested, giving us the positivity rate of 11%. 47,872 persons have been treated and discharged home, but we have sadly lost 1,091 persons to this disease. Our objective is still to lower the case fatality rate to less than 1%, but an additional challenge we have observed is that most fatalities are among those persons reporting late for treatment when their clinical condition has deteriorated seriously. The delay in deciding when or whether to go for treatment is what we must fight against. I therefore renew my appeal to all those who have tested positive and are 60 years or older and have underlying conditions to report themselves immediately to a treatment facility. Other persons who were cleared for or performing self-isolation should report to a treatment center without delay if they notice any of the evocative COVID-19 symptoms like high fever, persistent cough, loss or sense of taste or smell, and above all, breathlessness. They must report immediately. We do not have shortage of beds in our isolation and treatment centers in any of the states. To improve the chances of survival, the Federal Ministry of Health shall be distributing oxygen concentrators and ventilators to various institutions to be able to provide support to intensive care centers and also provide oxygen therapy to persons presenting with respiratory distress until they are referred to treatment centers. We are working with state government officials to sustain sample collections and response activities with emphasis on surveillance and treatment in order to drive containment. We are not doing as well as we like to do in the area of sample collection. We join the rest of the world today to mark the World Patient Safety Day, which was set aside in May 2019 by the World Health Assembly to recognize and highlight the safety of patients under treatment as a global health priority. The theme for this year is Health Worker Safety, a priority for patient safety, with the slogan, Safe Health Workers, Safe Patients. We are all called upon to speak up for health worker safety, which puts focus on those who provide health care insofar as they too need to be safe and healthy to do their jobs. Confronted as we are with this pandemic, the heroic role of frontline health workers to keep the rest of us safe must be recognized and commended. They work odd hours, endure stigma, they risk infection, and sometimes even their lives. government is making sure it provides all necessary protective equipment for the health workers. But we also urge all of them to take care of themselves and use their equipment properly as prescribed. I also use the opportunity to renew my call to members of the Joint Health Sector Union to put the plight, the safety, and well-being of their patients into consideration and to call off the ongoing strike, while the differences are being addressed by negotiation. It is important to remind ourselves that COVID-19 is real and spreading widely in some parts of the world as we speak. It is risky to believe that it is going away, even though it looks as if the figures are reducing here. Some countries are experiencing the so-called second wave, with all the complications that go along with this easily spreading disease. And another country is in fact about to go on the second lockdown all over again because things have got very bad there. And these are all things that Nigeria must endeavor to avoid. Compliance with all the recommended measures like wearing your mask, social distancing, avoiding gatherings, etc., will go a long way to help. Vaccines will not be available until next year at best, and no new reliable therapeutics have been confirmed. But our country must restart businesses, including travel, to allow citizens to earn their livelihoods. And with time, schools are also going to reopen. In all of this, the risks are increased, and we must be each other's keeper to mitigate the risks of exposure that are going to be involved. How easily the COVID-19 can spread and how deadly it can be is illustrated by this very short story that I read of recently. It happened in one of the states in the United States that 67 persons attended a wedding party, 65 persons attended a wedding party, ignoring social distancing, wearing no mask, and all, including, ignoring also the number permitted for per gathering, all against the recommended measures. One of the guests had contracted COVID-19 at that spot, but he was a worker in a nursing home that is over 100 miles away, and he returned to duty, transmitting COVID-19 to the inmates, and 35 of them contracted COVID-19, 7 died. These 7 never attended the wedding party. They had been isolating peacefully at their nursing home, and within a month, they had lost their lives in circumstances they could never have imagined. This is a clear pointer to how important it is for us to take responsibility for ourselves as individuals and for our families and communities. Let us know, therefore, that when you obey non-pharmaceutical recommendations, you protect yourself and others. This remains, at present, the best way to defeat this pandemic. Thank you all for your attention.